If you are a technology professional in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're going to want to tune into this live show. Today, we are giving you a sneak peek into the hugely successful InnoTech Dallas Conference that's happening on April 11th. So we're going to be showcasing some of the amazing speakers that will be speaking at the conference, all around cloud, data, AI, innovation. So let's start the countdown. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this very, very special preview to the InnoTech Dallas Conference that is happening on April 11th. I want to welcome all of you guys tuning in across the various channels. We have gone live on LinkedIn across a variety of channels, as well as some of the other social media channels like YouTube and Facebook. So welcome everybody. Please use the chat and the comments of the feed to introduce yourself. Tell people what you do. Tell people that you're tuning in, where you're tuning in from, the location. And so use the chat to introduce yourselves and connect with other people that are also technology professionals in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and beyond. So for those of you tuning in, my name is Fanny Dunagan. I am going to be hosting the sneak peek into the InnoTech Conference. I'm joined here by Sean Lowery. He is the president of Prospera events. He is the host and organizer of InnoTech. Sean, how are you today?
I'm good, Fanny. I can't believe it's been a year since we were just on the show last year. Yeah,
I know. Crazy. This is exciting. You've brought it back into the fold of Dallas. It's also happening in Austin as well as Oklahoma, right?
Correct. Yep.
Absolutely. Awesome. And I'm just going to let a few more folks tune in. Again, let everybody know where you're tuning in from and feel free to introduce yourself in the comments of the feed. I see Max tuning in from Flower Mound, Texas. Welcome. And Ann Small, she's helping us as well from Northlake, Texas. So welcome everybody. So this is going to be a preview of what's going to be happening at the InnoTech Conference. For those of you that have heard of InnoTech before, be sure to type in hashtag InnoTech for us. But for those that haven't heard about InnoTech, Sean, can you explain to people, what is the InnoTech Conference all about?
Yes. So first of all, I have to say that it is different than the name of the company on Office Space. That was InnoTech, and this is InnoTech. I get this all the time. So there won't be any red straight staplers. There's no reports. There's no nothing else. So it's really, truly a conference, not a company. So InnoTech is really, it stands for innovation in technology, right? InnoTech. So it's a regionally based business to business information technology conference for individuals in the North Dallas or North Texas area. We do get people from Oklahoma and other parts around the area, but I'd say 90% of the people are from the DFW area.
Awesome. And how did it get started? Where'd you get this idea to put together this conference?
That's a long story. Short story is there was a gap in the area for local technology events. There's a lot of great national programs back in the day, but there wasn't any good events for people from a local level to get together, network, learn from national speakers, really bringing a national level event to the local community. So we worked with a number of people in the area, like Andrew Jackson from Bravo Tech and just a number of other folks to build this event. And I think this is year 14 or 15 for us. I've kind of lost track.
Wow, 14 years, Sean. That's amazing.
Yes, I know I look 29, but yes.
Yes, 29 forever.
Right, exactly.
And who are the best folks, I think, most suited to attend InnoTech?
Honestly, I mean, it's anybody that's in the world of information technology, whether you're small business, commercial size business, or even enterprise, public sector or private sector is welcome. So if your day-to-day job is dealing with information technology, including security, cloud, AI, data, all these other technology facets, I think we'll have something for you there.
Awesome, awesome. So be sure to save this date. It is April 11th. And what you can also see is in the top there, we have a QR code to register for InnoTech. And if not, just go to InnoTechDallas.com and you will see the link to register at InnoTech. So one of the things we wanted to do today was give you a sneak peek into some of the speakers that will be at InnoTech. So thank you, Sean, for giving us that wonderful intro. What I'd like to do next is bring on one of our very first speakers to the live show here. And everyone, I'd like for you to welcome E.G. Nadhan to our live show here. Welcome, Nadhan, the Global Chief Architect at Red Hat and one of the sponsors of InnoTech. How are you?
I am excited. That's how I would say I am. Always excited to talk about what is forthcoming at InnoTech, and especially having a dialogue with you, Fanny, any day.
Thank you. Well, you're going to be speaking on a topic about cloud migration, the title being, Are You Happy with Cloud Migration? A reality check. But maybe before we get into that, can you give the audience a brief intro to your background?
Absolutely. So I've been with Red Hat for more than 8 years now. I am in the CTO office. Like Fanny said, I'm the Global Chief Architect Leader. In the field CTO organization, we go out and strategize outcomes for customers, partners, listen to them, and see how we can grow our portfolio to advance technology outcomes that have a purpose. And that's a global role. And I am excited to about this role because it's not just about talking about technology. It is really about networking out there in the community, both from an open source perspective as well as events like these where you get a chance to network. And if this came across as an event that is specific to Dallas, let me set you straight. I'm from Chicago, and I come into Dallas to actually network with the folks out there. And I see my good friend Jeff Rogers in the audience here. He's from Chicago too. He's attending. So that should make a big statement about this not being just a Dallas specific event. People fly in to attend this just because of the value that everyone gets.
So true, so true. And there he is, Jeff Rogers from Chicago. Awesome. So tell us about the chat, the fireside chat you're going to be having around cloud migration.
Yes.
What kind of topics will you cover in that?
So the chat is really with Yar Savchenko, who is the SVP for infrastructure at Comerica Bank. And really how this came about was Yar and I got talking over lunch about, how is this whole deal with migrating to cloud going, generally speaking, in the industry. And there is a realization that depending on who depending on the enterprise, depending on the scenario, there are cases where there is repatriation happening of the workloads from the cloud back to the data center. So where are all those cost savings that were projected? Why are we not seeing that? Why are we getting surprises from the bills that we receive and so on? So that got us talking about, is the world in general really happy? Are you happy with where the cloud migration is at in your context? And if not, why not? If so, how come? So both are valid. So that is really the chat that we are going to have, Fanny.
Awesome. Do you see any kind of common mistakes that organizations are making when it comes to moving to the cloud?
So the one common mistake that really applies to all kinds of new shiny object types of things, new paradigms is, hey, this looks cool. Let us jump on it without doing the due diligence, without actually even, it's not just about, having the right workloads in the cloud. It's also about how are we doing today, even without migrating to the cloud? What's the baseline? What are the KPIs? What are the metrics? How are we measuring them? Are we measuring them? Because after jumping on it, so to speak, if there is no basis for comparison as to how we were before the migration, it'll be difficult to kind of justify and quantify the returns out of that migration. If you didn't know where you were, how can you contrast and compare where you are? That's the fundamental question. And I would say that is the most common mistake, Fanny.
Got it. And then for those of you in the audience as well, we see people popping in throughout our feed. Feel free to type your questions into the chat, into the comments, and then we'll bring up your questions for our guests as well. So if you have any questions around cloud migration or things like that, I'm happy to bring those on as we chat with Nadhan. Nadhan, also, so from the other perspective, what are some of the best practices that you think will likely come out of this fireside chat?
So you know me, Fanny, and I would hope others have got a feel for how I roll. I like to walk in cold into these discussions. I like to talk to Yar and like other leaders too. Hey, let's have an informal conversation, just like we are doing it over happy hour, over lunch, in a meeting, whatever it is. And the reason why I give that context is my straight answer to your question is I don't know. Now, that doesn't mean that I cannot give you like 4 or 5 best practices that usually apply, but what specifically will come out of the fireside chat on April 11th at InnoTech, I do not know, because we will see how the conversation goes. And also, it's also going to be driven partially by the audience. What questions will the audience ask? It's not just about a conversation, Yar and I are having. It's about, the questions. And let me tell you out front, there is no setup questions, planned questions in the audience. I don't operate that way. So
it's a surprise.
Exactly. So challenge us, surprise us. But at the end, I will promise there will be practices that come out, and share, if you connect with me on LinkedIn, there will be a report as to here is what we learned, I learned, and life goes on. So sorry to disappoint you, Fanny. I do not
You're not
have
even going to give us a little secret.
I mean, it's not like I know and I'm not sharing. I just don't know. Intentionally.
I'm teasing. Yes. So for those of you out there, you'll have to tune in and attend InnoTech Dallas to learn more about cloud migration and the reality check around that, and some of the best practices that will come out of the discussion. And real quick, Nadhan, Red Hat is obviously one of the sponsors of the conference. Tell us a little bit of an overview of Red Hat as we close this out.
If there are 2 words, so that Red Hat, 2 words. If you want to have 2 words to go along with, it would be open innovation. We are about the technology of tomorrow while providing the solutions for today. So we engage deliberately, intentionally in the open source community to work with others who contribute to open source, and we track what projects get adoption, what projects are exciting, and then we bring those technologies back into our platform so that we can co-innovate, co-engineer with our customers and partners the solutions of tomorrow. That's what we do at Red Hat. That's why I sport it with great pride, as you can see in this video.
Yes. We all want to know where to get a red hat. Or do you have to work there?
That's a minimum requirement. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nadhan. Thank you for giving us that sneak peek. And we're just going to do a quick commercial here, and then I'm going to bring on our next guest. So we are looking forward to your fireside chat, Nadhan. We'll see you at InnoTech.
Will do.
So now please join me in welcoming Priya Reddy to our live show here. Welcome, Priya. How are you?
I'm doing great, Fanny, and excited to be here.
Awesome. Priya is the VP of Enterprise Data Management at Reprise Financial. Priya, can you give us an overview of your career and Reprise as well?
Absolutely. First off, thank you, Fanny and Sean, for the opportunity. My name is Priya Reddy. I'm currently serving as the Vice President of Enterprise Data Management at Reprise Financial, where we provide reliable, simple, and affordable lending products to average Americans. For the last 20 years, I have been at the intersection of data and technology, where I have focused on turning data into a real asset for businesses. My main area of expertise, making sure that data architecture, data engineering, analytics, and data governance are not just the technical terms, but are tools to actively support companies' objectives. That's what I do on a day-to-day work. And besides my day-to-day work, I'm also on the global editorial board for CDO magazine, where I share opinions and innovations in the data and analytics space across various industries. I'm also a board member of the GEMS Camp, where I help inspire girls and women in STEM roles. And I'm a member of Chief, who supports executive women. And also, I'm part of several organizations in technology, data, AI, just to in that space to keep learning, sharing knowledge, and help make the tech more inclusive. And I'm really excited to be here talking to you all.
Yes, yeah. And speaking of women in tech, there is a whole vertical of InnoTech Dallas that will be featuring the Women in Tech Summit. So there's a whole program for that as well as a subset of InnoTech. And in 2 weeks, we're going to have a live show around those speakers as well. So again, you can register at innotechdallas.com. So Priya, you're going to be talking all about building a culture of innovation, fostering early adoption mindsets in organizations. Tell us a bit about what you've kind of seen as barriers or challenges to building a culture of innovation.
Sure, that's a great question, Fanny. In my journey within the financial services or fintech sector, one of the biggest challenges in fostering a culture of innovation has been overcoming the this is how we have always done it mindset, right? So it's tough, it's a common hurdle. However, it's an opportunity for us as leaders to keep pushing for new ways of thinking. At our company, Reprise, we have really pushed an idea of fail fast and learn faster, and of course, taking calculated risks, though. We want our team to keep trying new things and not be afraid of making mistakes. And that's how we can find new solutions, and that's where innovation happens. We have worked to create a space where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts, ideas, their knowledge, whatsoever. And leading by example, we show that being innovative means thinking differently, not just using the latest and greatest technology or coming up with new and flashy ideas. So, despite being a small organization as a Reprise that we are, we operate with the mindset and high standards of a major organization.
Awesome. Awesome. Can you give us a sneak peek into maybe one of the innovative strategies that you'll be talking about?
Absolutely. To begin with, we all know that data is the core tenet of how we deliver digital transformation and AI, right? So at the conference, I'm excited to share a simple yet powerful idea, making data easy for everyone to use. So think about it. what if everyone at your company could use data to make better decisions, not just the tech experts, right? So we have been trying this out, making sure all our team members can get to the data they need and when they need it. So this has really transformed our organization, and this has really changed how we work. Now the teams are self-sufficient, the projects are moving faster, and everyone feels that they are part of the process. And this is also improving efficiency in how the way we work. So it's not just having the technology, right? So we have to empower everyone within the company to use it. So in the conference, I'll talk about how this can really shake up things for any organization, especially when it comes to making data-driven decisions, improving analytics, or getting the most out of AI. So talking about AI, so with AI, the nature of responsibilities are going to change. With AI, the gap between the business and tech teams is going to close. They'll be more closer and closer in terms of creating the most out of data and AI. And I know my friend Aamer is going to talk more about AI and Gen AI after me.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you mentioned teams, right? Teams are so crucial to transformations and projects, and that's where all the ideas come, right, for innovation. But how do you kind of keep your team motivated in continually learning and developing new ideas, Priya?
That's a great question, Fanny. Thank you for asking. And I love this question, and I can talk about it all day long. But due to the time limitations, I'll share a little bit here what we do at Reprise. In a startup space like Reprise, where everyone is juggling with multiple hats, right? So in that case, keeping the team motivated for continuous learning and development is challenging, but it is crucial. So what we have done here is we have instilled a culture of knowledge sharing, right? Recognizing that every project and every business problem we tackle is an opportunity for collective learning. So I constantly remind my team to see the bigger picture, right? So basically what's in it for them and how their day-to-day work directly contributes to business objectives. Like it could be top line improving revenue or growth, bottom line efficiencies, or reducing risk. So we are starting a program. In fact, I'm starting a program called Innovate and Elevate Monthly to make this even better. It's all about sharing the new ideas and what we learn with each other. So by this way, we don't just share the knowledge, but we also show how our work affects the bigger picture. So making it clear why understanding both business and technology matters. So this, I'll tell you, this perfectly aligns with our CEO, Joe Tomei's philosophy. He says, prioritize we over I to foster a culture of teamwork, collaboration in driving innovation. So I'm very excited to share a lot more details about what we do at Reprise and how we have been successful. So I look forward to seeing you all there.
I love that. Prioritize we over I. Great quote. And for those of you out there, be sure to, if you have any questions around cloud migration for Nadhan or any other questions for Nadhan, as well as data and AI and innovation for Priya, be sure to drop it into the comments and we'll bring those up to ask them as well. So thank you, Priya. We are looking forward to your talk on building a culture of innovation, fostering early adoption mindsets in organizations. So thank you, Priya.
Thank you.
Okay, and so now we want to actually play for you a video to tee up the biggest thing that's been rocking our whole technology industry, and that is AI. And we will be bringing on one of the founders of this organization, Dallas AI, in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, we want to play for you an introduction to Dallas AI. Okay, everyone, please join me in welcoming Aamer, Charania to the show. How are you?
Hi, Fanny. I'm good, thanks. Loved the
Welcome.
earlier conversations with Priya and Nadhan. Great insights. And I'm even more excited about InnoTech.
Yes, exactly. Real quick, I just wanted to flash this image or this comment for Priya. Chris says in the comments, I love how Priya summarized dealing with change as overcoming the "this is always how it's been done" mindset. This is a hurdle not only in tech, but every other change that happens in life. It's sometimes scary to take the leap, but necessary if we want to come up with new solutions. So well said. Thank you, Chris. But Aamer, please introduce yourself and give everyone a bit of background, because not only do you wear the hat of being head of applied learning at Best Buy, but as well as one of the co-founders of Dallas AI. So tell everyone a bit more.
Sure, happy to. So I currently lead the machine learning organization at Best Buy. Before Best Buy, I have led AI and machine learning at Capital One, Humana, and Verizon. So over the years, have been fortunate to apply AI to wide variety of industry verticals, including retail, financial services, healthcare, health insurance, technology, telecom, and also airlines. Outside work, I love to stay engaged with professional organizations and academia. I do serve as the president of Dallas AI, the organization that you saw the video about. Uh, Also, I'm the co-chair for the Evanta Dallas Chief Data and Analytics Officer community, a board member at Southern Methodist University, Big Data Advisory, uh, and last but not least, serve as an MIT career advisor and MIT educational counselor. For those of you who are familiar with the area, I live in Flower Mound, Texas, with my lovely wife, two beautiful daughters, and super cute long hair Persian cat who is a little naughty and might show up during this session.
We like pet appearances. But you're being the founder of Dallas AI, and obviously you were talking about AI before it became this like hot topic nowadays. Give us some highlights of the Dallas AI organization.
Sure, sure. So we started small, but over the years, It has now grown to be the largest nonprofit AI forum with over 5,000 members. Our mission is simple. We want to help Dallas become a vibrant hub for AI. And we do that via two specific channels. One is around education, and the other one is with professional networking. So both are learning. One is more core learning, the other one is peer-to-peer learning. As you saw in the video, in the last 6 years, we have had over 60 quality educational talks and workshops with some of the amazing speakers out there in the industry. This year, we are super excited to be a community partner for InnoTech and hope to see all of you there next month.
Absolutely, absolutely. So across your decades of experience, what are you most excited about Gen AI?
Sure. Now, to make sure my PR, compliance, and legal friends are happy, I first mention that any views I share here are solely mine and would not represent Best Buy, Dallas AI, or any other entity I'm associated with. Now, I'm super excited about Gen AI, just like many other folks. Two things that come to my mind first are access to personalized education and improvements in productivity. So for personalized education, imagine you having a private tutor, a university professor from one of the universities out there, uh, available for you 24/7, available to anyone throughout the world 24/7 to learn and improve their lives. When it comes to increase in productivity, something that we all struggle with is access to information. We have tons of data. We have access to hundreds of quality papers out there, but we don't have time to read through them. Gen AI can help us summarize those. It can even help us summarize the decks that we come across in our day-to-day work, sometimes even emails, which are many lines long, right? And accept it. We don't have time to review them all.
Yeah.
It can also help us generating assets, whether it's generating code, whether it's generating video, whether it's generating images. Now, I don't mean to say that it's going to replace, programmers or our creative folks.
We still need the prompts.
Exactly. It's just going to accelerate the whole process and make us all way more productive.
There's definitely a lot of exciting things to look forward to. But from your perspective, what are maybe the top challenge of that you're hearing from CIOs or other tech executives around AI?
Sure. So three things that come up over and over again are infrastructure, dealing with the hype around Gen AI, and managing risk. For infrastructure, Gen AI is moving very fast and it's costly. Not having the right setup can cost us millions. So we continue to strive, make sure that our infrastructure matches with what problem we are solving and having the right technique within Gen AI to solve that problem. Around hype, Gen AI is great, but we all accept it, right? It has a lot of hype around it. Or rather, I should say, overhype. Sometimes we have folks who are more excited about using Gen AI than solving the real business or customer problem. It's kind of like a hammer looking for nails out there, and that doesn't help anyone. And lastly, managing risk. You might have all heard about things around Samsung, other
Yeah.
oops out there where sensitive information was leaked. So that is something that we continuously try to keep up with.
So any concerns, or is AI here to stay? And it's either jump on the bandwagon or be left behind. Is that how it is now?
Yeah, I could be biased, but I believe that AI is there to stay. Gen AI is already real. I do believe, and I hope I'm right, that the benefits will far outweigh the costs and the risks, provided we have the right guardrails, we have the right policies. Honestly, I do fear sometimes that with the excitement of building solutions, we sometimes ignore the guardrails needed.
And governance too.
Governance, absolutely. Think about, what happened uh, with Instagram, with Facebook, uh, the way it impacted our teenagers, our kids, our elections. And now with Gen AI, all those problems will be multifold. We have videos, we have images that look almost like real. What impact that can have?
Yeah.
We also need policies. The job descriptions, the job responsibilities are changing very fast. We got to make sure that we are training the people who might be most vulnerable. That is not the job, or it's not possible by a single company or a single nonprofit. It has to be done either at the government level or at some large consortiums that includes the big.
Yes.
So yeah, we do have risks, some serious risks out there, but I'm hopeful that with the right policies, the right guardrails in place, it will benefit us way more than the risks it has.
Yeah. And speaking of people, we got a question that I want to pose while Priya was talking. So I want to bring on Priya here real quick as well and ask this question we got. And so I'm going to pose this question to both of you because I think it's very well related. From Raquel, how are you upscaling teams in AI, especially non-tech teams? So Priya, I'll start with you. Any suggestions and thoughts around that?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question and very valid and relevant to the buzzword in the industry right now. So I'll start with this. It's all about the education and training, right? So within Reprise, we are identifying use cases to implement AI to bring in efficiencies. However, when it comes to it could be either technical teams or non-technical teams, it's all about the education. So it starts with the leaders first, I believe. So that's where that what Aamer was talking about, the peer-to-peer knowledge sharing or training, right? So we got to learn first and educate everyone within the company how to safely use it, whether it is even safe to use it. So there's some, we have to address the elephant in the room, right? So there are several people who are thinking, is AI going to take away the jobs? So such questions need to be addressed first before we can implement AI and start bringing in those efficiencies. So I'll take a simple example, right? When several years ago, we were using typewriters to type things, but we are
Yes.
using computers, right? So, and when the ATMs came in, right? So we thought, oh my God, ATMs, but it brought in jobs for tellers and more ATMs, more jobs for tellers. So the AI is going to change the way we work, and the responsibilities are going to change. The jobs are going to change how we work. So that's the part of the education that every organization needs to take place before they implement AI.
And then Aamer, from your perspective, right? You lead obviously huge teams, but for like those non-technical teams, what are our suggestions and ideas for upskilling them?
Sure. So I totally agree with Priya. It's all about creating awareness and education. And honestly, everybody is continuously learning. My favorite thing to do while I'm working out is looking at Coursera videos or good YouTube talks out there. Same goes with non-tech folks. At the end of the day, most problems that we are solving with AI are outside tech. So non-tech folks have to know really what AI can provide, have to have the right expectations. And for that, we do recommend internal courses within the corporate arena that we have. We also encourage folks to join community forums like Dallas AI out there. And we also remind people that we are living in an arena and at times where access to this quality education is available to everyone at a fraction of the price it used to be. So I'm pretty old guy, right? So I remember, right, there was a time when you want to learn something, you register for a university course. Now, Coursera, YouTube, there is tons of information
Everywhere.
out there. And
Yes.
the same professors, my favorite, Andrew Ng, a Stanford professor, who used to have courses at Stanford that used to cost like over $5,000, now has courses on Coursera that are available almost for free. So do take advantage of all those resources available to you.
Yeah. So many options. Nadhan, from your perspective as well, I would love to hear your take on this question.
Yeah. So what we tell the non-technical users, I would say, is think about a new employee, an intern who is coming into the enterprise with a bit of difference where they have, shall we say, superpowers. They can work much faster than a human, process a lot more data, run algorithms, and so on. How would they actually work with the new employee? Just like we would kind of see what are they able to do, what's their passion, where are they actually shining, and what are their strengths, and then on the reverse, where do we want such abilities to be applied? That type of thinking would allow the non-technical folks to come out with the use cases that are relevant. So rather than looking at AI as this, technology that it's like the wow factor, think about it more like how would we work with a fellow employee who is coming into the enterprise with new abilities. That kind of thinking would, I would say, lead to more judicious and intentional and practical application of AI.
Awesome. And Raquel says, thank you to you all for these great answers. And before we move on, I wanted to play for everyone. As you can see, there's all kinds of discussions, all kinds of great topics that's going to be covered at InnoTech. So just want to play for you all one of the promotional videos we have so you can get a glimpse into what this event is all about. So let's play that now.
InnoTech is a brand of a conference. It stands for Innovation in Technology. We have 5 regional events. We have an event here in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Oklahoma City. In each city, it's a regionally based business-to-business technology and IT innovation conference and expo. I'm Sean Lowery. I'm the president of Prospera Events, and we produce the InnoTech conferences. So it takes about 5 or 6 months to put together the event. It happens in one day. We work with a lot of different organizations, and one of them is EC Council. I think with InnoTech, because we are regionally based, it's important to work with a lot of different organizations and partner with them. We're here once a year, and so if there's organizations like EC Council that are close by and they're in a marketplace all the time, it's important for us to work together and build something, and then allow EC Council to continue that throughout the year, and then work together once a year for this event.
Awesome. And then there's actually a follow-up question here from Raquel. Great questions, by the way. From the business perspective, how do you then verify the skills that your people are learning, whether on their own or through company trainings? How do you verify whether they're sufficient or up to par? Anyone on thoughts of that?
I can quickly take a stab. So I feel that in the long run, it shows up in their work. In the short run, it's a gamble. You have to trust folks, right? If they're saying that they know something, give them the opportunity, of course, right? Take measured risks, provide them an environment where if they fail, there are not huge risks out there. But honestly, it's hard to verify. And the flip side of it, I'll add to it, especially for our student community here, that's that advantage of going through a university. Because earlier you gave the example of Coursera. If you complete a certification from Coursera, you learn a lot. However, it's difficult for your prospective employer to verify that. But if you did the same course from a university, most employers will give it more credibility than an online course. So there is still a lot of value that these universities and schools are bringing in.
Awesome. And I do see, oh, yes, Nadhan.
Yes. So if you can pop the question up again, I think I remember it. I mean, the question was more about verifying the skills. While responding to it, if I can take the liberty of extending the question, it's not just about verifying the skills. It's also about verifying the application of the skills. And what I mean by that, so to verify the skills, okay, you have tests and certification and all of that. That's the technical part of, okay, did they get it? But the bigger concern, governance, is what comes to mind, because AI is one instrument where one can be armed and dangerous. And therefore, we also need to be on the watch and have the right kinds of controls in place so that the skill that has now been obtained is applied for the right reasons. Bad actors can wreak havoc with AI, because just like it can scale incredibly for good things, it can do the same thing in the reverse. So that's why it's a great question, Rachel. I would just, again, take the liberty of extending it a bit. There are two levels of verification. Did they get it? How are they using it?
I love that. Did they get it? And
Yeah,
how are
just
they
to-
using it? Mhm.
Right, absolutely. Just to add on what both my friends Aamer and Nadhan said, it is a collective effort, I believe, within the organization to evaluate the skills and application of the skills. So when it comes to data, I can say whether we are incorporating that AI strategy as part of data strategy, right? So that's very important. And I think one of the topic in InnoTech is going to be how we can integrate AI into data and AI strategy. That's going to be an awesome topic that Rachel and whoever has the question, we can come there and get your questions answered.
Yes. Talk with our speakers live and in person at InnoTech. So I want to go around the table here real quick, or the virtual table, and have each of you share what you're most looking forward to at InnoTech. Aamer, I'll start with you.
I'm looking forward to learning. It's always great to be at such conferences where you get to meet so much amazing talent, both in quality and quantity. So for me, it's all about learning, meeting new people, making new connections.
Awesome. And what about you, Priya?
Yeah, sure. I was there at InnoTech Dallas last year, and just to tell you, I have learned so many incredible things, and I have brought them back with me to my own organization and implemented, and I have seen success. So, and beyond the panel that I'm going to join, the building a culture of innovation, which is a topic that resonates deeply with me. I'm really looking forward to integration of Gen AI into AI strategy, and also the power of automation through data and AI. So because that's where the industry is heading, right? So it's a great discussion and so very relevant right now. So, and coming up InnoTech Dallas Conference in April, what's fantastic about that is the diversity of topics and the caliber of speakers. Thanks to Sean's deliberate and thoughtful selection, whether you are into cybersecurity or cloud native development, data, AI, or Gen AI, there is something for everyone. It's a great place or it's a great opportunity to learn, network, and get inspired by the latest in tech. So hope to see you there.
Super
Priya's hired. She's going to be my new spokesperson. That's awesome.
PR. Add that to the list of hats that you're wearing,
Wow.
Priya.
You don't need me anymore. I'm out of here.
And Nadhan, you've been to InnoTech several years. What are you looking forward to this year?
So I'm going to give everyone 3 I's to think about, the letter I. Innovation at the intersections at InnoTech. That's what I look forward to. And the reason is because of the different topic areas, the different speakers, the fact that it is paired up with the Women in Technology conference as well at the same time. The overall theme and mantra behind is that intersection. And take a look at today's panel, for example. And I don't think this was actually done, that was the intent, but look at how this all came about. I led with the talk around cloud, and Aamer spoke about AI, and Priya is talking about the culture of innovation. That's the intersection of cloud and AI. That's where innovation can thrive. That's just a prototype or a sample of the many such intersections that can happen at InnoTech. So, what do I look forward to? Innovation at the intersections at InnoTech.
I love it.
I wrote that down as my new tagline. So thank you, Nadhan, for that. That's great.
You're going to be charged PR fees from now on, Sean. Yes, and then for all of you out there, I will also be speaking at InnoTech. I'm going to be facilitating a panel called Beyond the Hype, Exploring Real-World Impacts of AI. And so I've gathered speakers around finance, gaming, as well as healthcare, and have them share use cases from those different industries. And then also presenting about how to boost your LinkedIn brand. So you'll also get some branding tips, 10 lessons from top tech leaders. I find that tech leaders can do a vastly improved job of building their brand. Everyone's so super smart, but letting the world know about it more. So those are things that I'll be speaking at the conference. Sean, have I left off any other topics that you think need to be highlighted that will be discussed at InnoTech?
No, I think everybody's hit the kind of the main points of we're going to be discussing cloud, security, innovation, AI, data, women in technology. There's 55, 60 speakers, 30 different sessions, 900 attendees. I mean, it's just one of the best places in Dallas to really network and learn for this year. So I'm excited, and I'm excited about just hearing these three individuals that we brought on for today's event has been fantastic. So I'm excited to hear what everybody else has to talk about as well.
Yeah. See, Sean, look, you have a new InnoTech fan. Raquel says, sounds like an amazing event. Asking my company right now if they will send me. So
All right,
there
Raquel,
you go,
yes,
right there.
Yes, yes.
Our mission accomplished.
901.
Yes, we have a few more minutes before we wrap up at the end of the hour. I do see a great question here from another LinkedIn user. How do you convince organizations to adopt Gen AI who are hesitant to do so? Who would like to tackle that one?
Oh,
That sounds like an hour-long talk right there.
Say it in one paragraph.
It's best to start with solving the problem. At the end, Gen AI is AI. If you go with the problem and then go with the technique, right? Whether it's Gen AI or something else, you will be preparing your team, your company for success. Of course, Gen AI, like other techniques, has some risks, but those can be mitigated. So again, right, I would emphasize, tell the organization to focus on the problem, and then Gen AI, whenever that's the right solution, will come into the picture.
Yeah.
So I will
Don't just-
expand on what Aamer said a bit, and this will expose my the fact that I have been in sales for a long time. I'm not right now, but the fundament and the reason why I mentioned sales is because the way the question is worded, you almost have to sell Gen AI to the organization. So you start by actually asking questions around, okay, what are you able to do today? What are you able to do today? And highlight what could be done with Gen AI without mentioning Gen AI. Okay, you're predicting today. What if you can actually, generate code, let's say, or augment what is being done today in a different way? How are you doing that? Are you able to do that? And when the case is made for the problem to be solved in their terms, in their language, from their perspective, then if we talk about, well, guess what? There is technology that can actually help you do that. So rather than going in, like Aamer said, and saying, okay, here is Gen AI, let's sit down and spend an hour about what problem can we solve, we should lead the intended user to that problem statement, what they are not able to do today, and then pop it up as if something, we just thought about, oh, you know what? There is this thing called Gen AI. That is more likely to yield results.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can add on to what both Nadhan and Aamer said. It's all about problem solving. We have 100 tools to solve problem, but how do you present it, right? So if you have 100 problems to solve, just take one use case. Take a use case and see how Gen AI can improve, can impact. For example, if you want to bring in some efficiencies within your organization, okay, take that use case and see how Gen AI can help and showcase that. So that's how you can get a buy-in from the senior leaders within the organization. And then once you show the success, and there you go. I mean, you'll have a lot more opportunities opened up.
Yeah. Tying it back to the business and having specific use cases. Great. Well, I want to wrap up the show with a comment from the audience, George Trulio, because at the end of the day, yes, this is a technology conference. Yes, we'll be talking about AI and all kinds of tech, but also remembering that people are always the secret sauce, and he is looking forward to the insights and lessons to be learned from thought leaders speaking at InnoTech. So I couldn't have said it better. And So thank you, George, for that comment. For everyone out there, be sure to connect with all these great speakers that will be at InnoTech. And then let's pop back up the URL, innotechdallas.com. That's where you can go to register. Final words, Sean, about the conference?
Well, I think everybody said great things today. This is exciting. I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody in April.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, everybody, go register. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our amazing panelists. Thank you for all your contributions, all the sneak peeks and insights. You can get more at the conference, everyone. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on April 11th at InnoTech Dallas.
Thanks, man.
Bye now.
Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to